Hi everyone, I'm back with another video and this is a continuation of our GCP playlist. And in this video we are going to learn about GCP resource hierarchy, GCP projects. By the end of this video you will learn manage projects from GCP console as well as from Google Cloud SDK. I will also share some couple of links, useful links, which I think is very helpful to understand these concepts in depth. And if you are really preparing for Associate Cloud Engineer certification exam, I would highly recommend you to go through those links. And if you are new to this channel, in this channel we focus on creating tutorials and walkthrough for software developers, programmers and engineers. We cover topics for all different skill levels. So whether you are a beginner or you have a many years of experience, this channel will have something for you. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. Now let's get into today's topic. GCP have a different concept of organizing its resources. So in GCP we have a organization node, we have a folder node, we have a projects node. Let's see the diagram. So this is one example of GCP resource hierarchy. So in the top you have an organization node, and each organization node may have a different folders or subfolders, and each folder can have a different projects, and each project can have multiple resources or services provided by the Google Cloud. So at the top you can see we have a organization node, and within this organization, suppose we have a different departments, so we can create different folders for the departments, and each department will have a different teams. So we have created a subfolder within this folder called team A and team B, and each team may have a different products as well, right? So we can also create a subfolder called product 1 and product 2, and each folder can have a different projects. We can create a one project for development, we can create a one project for testing, one for staging, another for production. So GCP resource hierarchy consists of three basic nodes: organization, folders and projects. And there are some couple of points which I want to highlight. It is not mandatory to have a folder for creating a project, but you can only create a folder if you have a organization node. If you don't have an organization node, you cannot create up folders. And we are also going to see that when we are doing a demo. So what is the benefit of having an organization node, folder nodes and project nodes? So suppose if you want to apply some policy to particular team or particular department or particular product, so you can directly apply those policy to the folders, organization or project as well. Now let's talk about the projects, which is the main topic of this video. So project ID, project name and project number, these three are the basic and the core attributes of the project. Project ID is immutable. That means we can only change the project ID while creating it. Once we created the project ID cannot be changed. We can choose a project ID while we are creating a project. I will show you in the demo session how we can choose it. And project name, it should not be unique. You can give whatever name you want, and this is also an option we can choose, and that is mutable, means we can go ahead and update the project names whenever we want. The another attribute is project number, and this is also globally unique, but that is not something which we choose. That is something which Google provides. Once it's created or assigned to us, our project, it cannot be changed. So this is the three basic attributes of the project: project ID, project name and project number. Project ID, project number are immutable and globally unique. Okay, so now the demo time. So if you have not installed a Google Cloud SDK, I would recommend you to go and check out my previous video where I have explained how you can set up the Google Cloud SDK. If you don't want to set up the Google Cloud SDK into your local machine, so there is another way which you can use. You can use a Google Cloud Shell. I will show you that how you can activate it and how you can use it. Alright, so I have logged into my GCP account. Now first see how we can list out all the projects from our GCP console. So in here you can see there is one option called select a project, right? So you can click on this option. So here you can see all the recent projects which you have used. So here you can see all the projects which you have, and you can go ahead and select any of the projects. So if you want to create a new project, what you can do, just click on here, and here is one option called new project. Just click on that, and here you need to provide a new project name. GCP Learning YT. Here you can observe while typing this project name, the project ID is automatically updating. So here is an edit option. You can see, you can just click on it, and in this option you can select our organization if you have any organization set up. Right now just click on create. Okay, so our project is created. If you want to see these projects, we can go ahead and see here. So now let's click on it. Now this is our current project which is selected. This is how you can create a project from GCP console. So there is one more important thing I wanted to highlight is, if you go to your dashboard, you can see these project info card, right? So here you can see our project name, project ID, and the project number. Remember, we have talked about the project number as well. This is also a globally unique and immutable, and we cannot choose these project numbers. That is assigned by the Google. So this is how you can see your project's info. That is similar to describe your project. Okay, let's see how you can update project. Go to IAM and admin policies, and here you can go and click on settings, project settings, and here you can see we don't have any option to update the project ID and project number, but we can update our project name. Let's make it GCP Learning YT test and save it. Alright, now you can see our project name is get changed. So here is how you can update the project name. Alright, and if you want to see some more information about the projects and the resource, you can go to IAM policies, and here you can see manage resources. Now we can see all our resources, and you can directly manage your resources from here as well. If you want to create a folder, you can directly create from here, but the condition is you should have the organization node to create a folder. Suppose if I'm trying to create, say, department X, right? So it will ask me to choose a organization location, but I don't have any organization set up for this account, so I cannot create any folders. And you can also create a project directly from here as well. So this is another option which you can use. All right, now let's see how we can delete a project. So to delete a project, you need to navigate to IAM admin option, and here is manage resources. To delete a project, you have to select a project, click on delete. It will ask you to confirm the project ID which you want to delete. In this case, I will select this and provide the project ID. Right, so once you click on delete a project or shut down a project, it will be scheduled to delete that project for after 30 days. So you have an option to recover your project or undelete your project. So in this case, we just want to delete this project, we don't want to use it, we just click shut down. Right, so this project is now getting shut down, project is pending for deletion. It gives us some more information, we click OK. Now we can only see one project here, the latest one which we have created. And if you want to see your deleted project, you can see here resource pending for deletion. If you click here, you can see there is one project which is pending for deletion, and it will automatically get deleted within 30 days. Now let's see how we can do the same stuff from a Google Cloud SDK. So before going to use SDK, I have mentioned if you have not installed a Google Cloud SDK in your local machine, how you can follow this demo. So if you log into your GCP account, right, so there is a one option for the Cloud Shell. When you click on it, it will spin up a small VM for you. So it will take a little bit of time to spin up. In this demo, I'm going to use my local machine because I have already installed at the Google Cloud SDK, right? So if I go and show you which gcloud, right, so here you can see I have this command available in my machine. Let me make it a big, so you can see Google Cloud Shell is spin up and it's ready to use. You can fire the same command here, and now you can see you have a gcloud command over here, right? So there are two important things before using a Google Cloud SDK. The first thing is you need to make sure you have authenticated your account with a Google Cloud SDK. So how you can check that? There is a command gcloud auth list, right? So if you fire this command, you will see the number of accounts you have added to your configuration, and the current account which I'm using is this mllearning77@gmail.com, right? So this is the same account which I have used to log in into this my Google Cloud account. All right, so if you don't know how you can log in from your Google Cloud SDK, so there is a command gcloud auth login. So this command help you to log in using the same credentials which you have used, and it will authenticate you, and it will save your tokens in the local machine, which will help you to interact with Google Cloud APIs. All right, and there is one more thing which you can check, and that is gcloud config list, right? And here when you see gcloud config list, you should see Gmail account. All right, so first we are going to see very simple option called a list, right? So this is very simple command called gcloud projects list. It will list out all the projects available inside our Google account, right? It will show the project ID, project name, and project number. Okay, so this is the same command, right, which we have used, but there is some additional options which we can use, like filter. We can use the limits. Right now I have only one project, so I cannot show you these options, but let me create some projects and we will cover these options as well, right? So let's create some projects. So now let's see the create commands for the projects. gcloud project create a new project, right? So how you can create a new project using gcloud projects command. Okay, if I type gcloud projects create, right? And here what we need to provide, we need to provide project ID, not project name. So we need to provide a project ID. Let's say projects demo YT. Now press enter. Okay, so now it's creating a one project called projects demo YT. So it's doing something. I can also show you over here. So if I go to a dashboard, and here, now here I can see projects demo YTs get created. Okay, you can also go to I am an admin resource, manage resources, and if you just refresh this page, you should see the newly created project. All right, and now let's list out the projects. Okay, so now we have two projects, right? Now we can see some different options. So suppose if you want to create a project inside any particular folder or organization, something like that, so you can use these optional flags, right? So these are optional one. So you can use the dash dash folder, and you need to provide the folder ID, right? You can also provide the labels. You can provide the name. So in this case, we have not provided any name. We had just provided the project ID. So the project ID will automatically converted into project name. But if you want to give a different name, you can use this dash dash name. If you have some organization node, you can also provide that dash dash organization flag. And if you want to set that project into your default, you can use the same. Okay, so let me show you one more thing. gcloud projects create, right? And this time I want to give the ID, not YT, I will give a test, and I want to give this project a name. I want to give a name like project X and press enter. Now what this command will do, it will create a project using this project ID, and it will give the project name project X. If you want to verify, I can verify from here as well. We can do gcloud projects list. Now here you can see we have a project X in a name and the project demo test in ID. So we can choose a project ID and project name, and the project number is automatically assigned by Google Cloud. Alright, let me just clear the screen. Okay, so we have seen this option, create option. Now let's see how we can describe a project, right? So suppose if you need to get more information about the project, you can use gcloud projects describe command. And here what you need to do, you need to provide the project ID or project number here. So it will give you all the information when it's get created. The lifecycle state means this project is currently active or it's being deleted, or the name, the project ID and the project number. You can get these information from gcloud project describe command. All right, and we have seen list and delete, we have not seen. Let's see an update command. Okay, so suppose if you want to update the project name, how you can do that? Suppose I want to change this project name to something else. We can use gcloud projects update, and here we can provide the project ID. We can say, oops, project demo YT, right? So we want to update the project name, and we can say new project. Press enter. Okay, so project name is updated. If you just quickly go and list out the project, you will see the project name is get updated. The project ID and number remain same, right? Now let's see one more option which we have not seen. Let's see these flags. Okay, so we can filter out our project list based on some expression. For example, we can provide a filter. So I just wanted to see all the projects which contains YT. If I enter, see, I'm only seeing those projects which contains YT. And one more thing, if I don't want to apply the filter, I want to apply the limit. Only I want to see only 2 projects at a time. So I can provide a limit and it will show me only 2 projects. If we combine these, filter YT and filter and limit, now I'm giving a limit of 1, so it should show me only 1 project. Okay, so here we are seeing only 1 project. Same way you can use a page size short by if you want to. Let me give you an example. I can use gcloud projects list. This time I only want to short. Let me just list out all the projects first. Okay, so we have 3 projects. gcloud projects list, and I want to sort by we can give any name, project ID, name or project number. So let's sort this list by project ID. Okay, let me give the project number. So now you can see we are getting some different list. I mean, you can sort it out. You can sort your project list on the fly using this sort by flag. Okay, all right. Okay, so we have discussed about create, delete, describe. Oh, I think we have not seen the delete option, right? Okay, let's go to delete. Okay, this is also a very simple command. Let me clear the screen. Okay, so how we can delete a project? We can delete a project using gcloud projects and delete command, right? And we need to provide the project ID or project number. We can provide any of them. Now let's first list out all the projects which we have. We use gcloud projects list. Okay, so we have these 3 projects. Now let's try to delete one project. If you want to just verify in the console as well, you can go to dashboard, or you can also see from here as well. You can also go to IAM admin and manage resources. It's not updated, so let's refresh the page. Now you can see these three projects. All right, so now let's first delete. How we can delete it? We can delete a project from command gcloud projects delete, and here we need to provide project ID or a project number, right? So this time we use a project number because we have seen lots of example from using a project ID. This time we will use a project number. So suppose I want to delete this project called project X, so I will provide a project number here. I will click delete. It will ask us, do you really want to delete this project? I would say yes, delete it. This project is get deleted. If you want to confirm, we can just gcloud projects list. We can verify from here. Okay, come on. Now we can see only two projects. So this project is get deleted. Now if you want to verify from the console as well, just refresh it. It will show you only two projects. All right. So now we have deleted these projects. Now if you want to see these projects, suppose I have deleted it and it will automatically get deleted after 30 days, but I want to see. So from console, if you go to I am an admin, manage resources, here you can see the resources pending for deletion. So here you can see this is our recent project which we have deleted from our Google Cloud SDK. If we want to restore from the GCP console as well, we can select this project and click on this restore button. So this project will automatically get restored. So you can do it from here, or you can also use a gcloud SDK command. So I would like to show you from the gcloud SDK command. So let's quickly go to our documentation and see we have an option for undelete, right? So we can use this command to undelete our project. So the command says go gcloud projects undelete and projects ID or number. All right, so this is very simple command. We can say we know the project ID is this, project number is this, project ID is this. We can simply say gcloud projects undelete, and we can provide project number or project ID. This time I will provide project ID. Click enter. Now our project should be restored. If you want to quickly verify, we can do it from here. Oops, my bad. Now we can see this project is get restored. Now we can see it from here. We can also verify from the console as well. Just refresh this page. This project should be eliminated from here. Yeah, here you go. Now you can see this project is get restored. All right. Now we have got lots of commands like create, delete, describe, list, undelete, and update. Right. So if you have any difficulty for following this demo, let me know in the comment section. I will try my level best to answer them as soon as possible. So I have listed out all the links. So we have learned these commands, right? Now, so here are some important links which I really want you to go through these links. And I have shared these all the links in my Telegram group. So these are the links which I highly recommend you to go through at least once if you are really preparing for the associate level certification. It is very important to understand these concepts in depth. Okay. So yeah, so that is what I planned for this video. I hope you have learned something new from this video, and in case you have some doubts or want to discuss something, you can reach out to me with these following links. Yeah, so that's it from this video. I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye and take care.